Thank you so much for coming tonight to this very special evening. And before I begin, there are a few people I personally would like to thank and acknowledge. Mr. Bob Nicholson, seated at table number 2, who was in our first Hall of Honor induction class and who has donated literally thousands of dollars to our Bulldog statues and to the regal bronze Bulldog in our courtyard. And if you've never seen it, it's worth the trip. I'd also like to acknowledge our current superintendent, Dr. Dan Johnson, who is at table number 1. He is someone who has supported us so much in everything we wanted to do, and everything he does is the best. And I love that about him. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Chris Ziegler, Board of Education member, who's also at table 1. He worked tirelessly to gain ads for our Hall of Honor program, and that helped to make this night possible. So thank you to all 3 of you. So for those of you who might not know me, and I don't know who that might be, but my name is Gail Bignell, and I am a member of the Hall of Honor Committee, the BBEA, a proud graduate of Butler High School, and a retired teacher of 44 years from Butler High School. I loved every minute of my time at Butler, both as a student and mostly as a teacher. Some of my happiest days at Butler began in 1981 when William Hanisch was hired as a new faculty member. For almost 45 years, Bill has been a colleague, a mentor, and a friend. He loves the study of science and was a master teacher in the classroom from 1981 to 1997. The students who were fortunate enough to have Bill as their instructor not only loved and respected him as an educator, but they were always prepared in the area of science, be it later in their high school career or in any college course they might have enrolled in. Wisely, Bill was chosen to be the science department coordinator, and it was then that I witnessed the department becoming one of the strongest in the school. During the 1992-1993 school year, Bill was instrumental in the planning and design for the renovations of the science wing. Another valuable contribution to BHS was when Bill wrote the Advanced Placement Biology course into the BHS curriculum. Students who took his course always found success when they took the National Advanced Biology exam administered by the College Board in May of each school year. One of the things I most admired about Bill was his passion for teaching and for being with his students. Although he had all the necessary credentials, he was not really looking to leave the classroom and becoming an administrator. In 1990, Bill was the Teacher Recognition recipient for Butler High School, a distinction he was so deserving of. One might think that this would be the pinnacle for an educator. Certainly it was important to him, but Bill's best days were yet to come. In 1997, the time was right for our Board of Education to utilize some of our best talent, and William Hanisch became the principal of Butler High School. I truly believe I became a better educator as a result of Bill leading our school. He was innovative, he believed in his staff, he listened, and he supported faculty initiatives for 14 years. Even when Butler High School was faced with difficult times, Bill was a steadfast person for all of us. On September 11th, 2001, No one could have begun their day knowing what was about to happen. The world changed at 8:57 a.m. It was a frightening and uncertain day. From that moment and for the next few days, I witnessed Bill at his best. He was calm, he took action, and he assured the faculty and students that we were safe with him. For the remainder of the 9/11 school day, Bill gave the staff and students an update over the PA every 30 minutes so that we were all in the know. This was a time without televisions, cameras, etc. A staff member or two might have had their own radio, as I did, but it was the sound of Mr. Hanisch's voice that gave us assurance that we would be okay. I was taking a graduate course at the time, and we met briefly on 9/12. Educators in the class were furious as to how their administrators handled the events of 9/11. Blocking windows, no updates given, no interaction between staff members. I remember feeling so proud of how our principal handled such a devastating event. In 2011, Bill retired from Butler High School as his son Will was about to become a freshman. Bill wanted Will to have the best high school career he could have without also being his son's principal. Knowing both of them so well, I think remaining principal would have worked for both of them. However, Bill did not want to take this chance. I think that speaks volumes about the man, William Hanisch. He had years of ideas and energy left to give, but his ultimate focus was his son. Not many people would have chosen this path, but few people matched the caliber of the man I'm describing. I am thankful I had the opportunity to work with and for Bill, and I am truly blessed to call him my friend. The end.
Some people are shorter than others. Thank you very much, Gail. Thank you for bringing back memories of 9/11. It was a very difficult time for all of us. And what people didn't see was me curl up on my bed every night, wondering what to do next. Good evening. Well, that sucked. Good evening. One more time. Good evening. All right, fine. I want to thank everyone who came tonight to celebrate the induction of the 4th class of the Butler High School Hall of Honor. When I agreed to serve on the inaugural Hall of Honor committee, I never pictured myself being inducted. A shout out to past and present Board of Education members, superintendents, and administrators who have supported the Hall of Honor from its inception. Special recognition should go to former Superintendent Mario Cardinal, who spearheaded the formation of the Hall of Honor. He was supposed to be in attendance tonight, but unfortunately could not make it. What I have found on my journey here is to learn from those around you, and they deserve to be recognized. First, to my parents, for all their love, support, and guidance. They gave me a strong moral code that has never failed me. Thank you, Mom, for being here and for all you and Dad did for me. My son, Will, who has made his mother and myself so proud of him and his drive to achieve his goals. He's about to start his training as a commercial airline pilot. So soon, we may be fortunate enough to hear this is First Officer Will Hanisch, and we're looking forward to a smooth flight. Believe me, he knows his stuff. My father-in-law, Paul Maggio, for pushing me to go on for my master's. He is responsible for a number of people in Butler, many who are here tonight, for furthering their education and careers. To one of my first students at Butler, my brother Keith. He was very supportive of me in class during that first year. I had him in my class because he didn't want to change his schedule. And he could have made my life miserable. He chose not to. Thankfully, he's a bright guy because he had to work extra hard for me. And to my wife, Mary Ann, who in my opinion is the best teacher who walked the halls of Butler. I could not have done any of this without your guidance and support. Your proofing and rewrites helped me say what I wanted to communicate. Thank you for your love and support and for being a wonderful mother to our son. You are always there when I needed advice or to talk things out. This is as much for you as for me. Butler High School has always been a special place for me. There's a tremendous amount of history, but what has made the difference is the people who have walked through its halls. As the years have passed, I've come to realize just how special these people are. I learned so much from my colleagues, both as a teacher and later as an administrator. One person who's had a tremendous impact on me is my good friend Gail Bignell. Well known as a phenomenal teacher, but the most important lessons I learned from her was how to work with my colleagues when I was her vice president in our local association. These lessons helped guide me in my subsequent years, and her advice has always been excellent. An unusual situation at the beginning of my time at Butler was that I had the good fortune to work with my brother Kurt for close to 10 years. Unfortunately, he could not be here tonight, but he's being represented by his boys, Stephen and Leif. We were there for each other at the start of our educational careers and pushed each other to be better teachers. Together, I like to think we moved the science department forward and moved on. He moved on to supervision and administration before I did, so left Butler High School to pursue these opportunities. We started our careers together, and we actually finished them together. He asked me to come out of retirement, so He asked me to come out of retirement to fill in for one of his teachers the last 4 months of his time at Mountain Lakes, with a particular, shall we say, interesting class. Nobody else will understand this, but Kurt, Rick says hi. We're recording this, he'll get it, and Maria knows what I'm talking about. I have been fortunate that every superintendent I worked with was different and excellent. I learned so much from each one of them. They all had insights and approaches that helped me grow as an administrator. I owe a big thank you to my secretaries over the years. I couldn't have been successful without them. Jane and Kathy always kept me on an even keel and supported me in every way. My first secretary, Joan, helped teach me what it meant to be a principal. Her advice was insightful, and she was able to guide me without telling me what to do. Evelyn Horner was there for me in so many ways. Most people know her as the queen of technology. I learned more about hardware and software than I ever imagined I would. Some of it I even got correct. She's also a top-tier teacher. The first time I met her was when her special needs students did a presentation on research they had done on local ecology at a Board of Education meeting, and I was blown away. Of more importance, I can also call her friend. Finally, Let me speak about my friend and the person who was my assistant principal for much of my time, John Mulligan. John has an innate sense of how to work with students, particularly those in need. I never had to worry about any of his decisions, and I was always able to lead the school in his charge with complete confidence. I do have one gripe with him. As most of you know, I still live locally and frequently run into former students and their parents. After they greet me, they immediately turn the conversation to John. Wanted to know if I still talk to him. How's he doing? How much they loved him. Another thing about me. Thanks, John. No problem. I'm jealous. Seriously, I think we made a great team, and we were responsible for many great things at Butler High School. Again, everyone who has been part of my journey has helped shape me, students, colleagues, friends, family. I want to thank each for all you have given me. Have a nice night.